Hey guys, how's it going? Hopefully you're having a wonderful week like always, because today I'm continuing with my Adele discography journey and we've made it to her second studio album from 2011, 10 years ago, called 21. 21 topped record charts in more than 30 countries and became the world's best-selling album of the year for both 2011 and 2012. It also helped revitalize the lagging sales of the global music industry. In the UK, it is the best-selling album of the 21st century and fourth best-selling album of all time, and the best-selling album by a solo artist of all time. In the United States, it is the best performing Billboard 200 album of all time, holding the top position for 24 weeks, longer than any other album since 1985, and the longest by a female solo artist in the Billboard 200 history. With sales of over 31 million copies worldwide, 21 is the best-selling album of the 21st century and one of the best-selling albums of all time. 21 also won the 2012 Grammy Award for Album of the Year and the Brit Award for British Album of the Year. It has since been ranked amongst the Rolling Stones' 500 greatest albums of all time. When Adele hunkered down to record this album, did she ever think this would happen to 21? Adele began writing 21 in 2009 when still involved in the relationship that subsequently inspired the record. Composed in the aftermath of Adele's separation from her then partner, the album explores heartbreak, introspection, and forgiveness. When talking about the title of the album, Adele said, 21's different from 19. It's about the same things, but in a different light. I deal with things differently now. I'm more patient, more forgiving, and more aware of my own flaws. Something that comes with age, I think. So fittedly, this record is called 21. Like a photo album, you see my progression and change throughout the years. Now, this is my first time listening to the album in whole. Of course, I've heard the biggest hits from the album, like Rolling in the Deep and Rumor Has It, Set Fire to the Rain, and Someone Like You, but all the other tracks are brand new to me. But like always, if I start listening to a song and it sounds familiar, I'll let you guys know. There are 12 tracks on the album, and the album is 52 minutes. Now, I remember my mom being obsessed with this album. She always had Adele's 21 in her car. She always played it. Sometimes she would start playing the record in her car when I was there. We would be driving to the grocery store, just a quick 10-minute drive, and she would throw on 21 by Adele, and instantly Rolling in the Deep would start playing, and she was jamming to it. This was definitely one of her favorite albums of all time. Now, we did kick off the video with track 1, Rolling in the Deep, which was the lead single from the album. I guess it goes without saying that this was a monster smash for Adele. As of 2019, with sales of over 20 million copies worldwide, Rolling in the Deep is the best-selling digital single of all time. I mean, who knew this album would reach the heights that it did? Like I said already, when Adele sat down to write this album, when she was hunkered down in the studio recording the album, did she ever think that this album would achieve the heights that it did? Rolling Stone also ranked it as one of the 100 greatest songs of the 21st century. It also won Record of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best Short-Form Music Video at the 54th Annual Grammy Awards. I mean, this album and this song struck gold in ways that only 99.9% of... Is someone knocking on my door? Okay, I think they're knocking on my neighbor's door, actually. What was I talking about? Something about striking gold and 99.9% of artists. Yes, 99.9% of artists can only dream of achieving what this single and what this album did. I mean, this is Shania Twain come on over territory. What I particularly like about this song is Adele's vocals, especially during the chorus. You can hear the pain and anguish and turmoil in her voice when she sings Not just the chorus, but the entire song. I also adore the lyrics on this track. There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching a fever pitch, it's bringing me out the dark. Finally, I can see you crystal clear. Go ahead and sell me out. I'll lay your ship bare. Rolling in the deep, tears are gonna fall. Rolling in the deep, you had my heart inside of your hand, and you played it to the beat. I also like this part here. Now I'm gonna make your head burn. Think of me in the depths of your despair. Make a home down there, as mine sure won't be shared. Wow, she is seething in this song, and she is holding nothing back. Throw your soul through every open door. Count your blessings to find what you look for. Turn my sorrow into treasure gold. You'll pay me back in kind and reap just what you sow. I don't know what this person did to make Adele feel this way. It must have been pretty bad though. Adele herself described the song as a dark, bluesy gospel disco tune. The lyrics describe the emotions of a scorned lover. This song is like a red hot fire poker. I essentially like the entire production of this track. I love the drums. I love the, I guess, hand clapping. Now it says here that it's actually stiletto heel tapping from Adele. What a way to open an album, and Rolling in the Deep is one of my favorite Adele songs of all time. I imagine there are people who think this song is overrated, perhaps even this album, it happens, but I personally think this song deserves all the acclaim it received. For me personally, I liked everything about it. The lyrics, her vocals, I like the melody, I like the instruments, the production. To me, it's a flawless song. But anyway, let's move on to track 2, Rumor Has It.
She ain't real. You and I have history, or don't you remember? But baby, is that really what you want? She ain't got your love anymore. Rumor has it. He's the one I'm leaving you for.
That was track 2, Rumor Has It, and just like the prior track, Rolling in the Deep, she has laid everything out on the table for us to read and interpret, and she's holding nothing back. She's very honest, and her emotions speak volumes in her vocals. There's also something quite sassy about this song as well. She's addressing the rumors that are spreading about her and her relationships, the truth and the dishonesty and the hearsay. She heard through the grapevine that you said this and she said that, he told you that, she told you this. Rumor has it she is half your age, but I'm guessing that's the reason that you strayed. I heard you've been missing me. You've been telling people things you shouldn't be, like when we creep out, when she ain't around. Haven't you heard the rumors? And then she goes on to say, you made a fool out of me, and boy, I'm bringing you down. Oh boy, indeed. Adele's gonna... You know what, there seems to be something quite... I mean, don't fuck with Adele. She's gonna fuck you up. You made my heart melt. Yeah, I'm cold to the core, but rumor has it I'm the one you're leaving her for. I also liked the transition halfway through where it slows. The part where she says, just cause I said it, it don't mean that I meant it. People say crazy things. Just cause I said it, don't mean that I meant it. Adele explained that the song was not inspired by the media, but was aimed at her own friends who frequently spread rumors about her breakup with her boyfriend. She is addressing the rumors of her breakup, obviously. Some sort of infidelity, perhaps, as well. Cheating in a relationship, whether she cheated or he cheated on his girlfriend with Adele. And this is something that she also touches on her prior album. I really am enjoying the instruments on this album. In particular, the drums, not just on this track, but also the prior track, Rolling in the Deep. But anyway, let's move on to track 3, Turning Tables.
Close enough to start a war. God only knows what we're fighting for. I can't keep up with your turning table. So I won't let you do the justice of me. I can't give you. It's time to say goodbye to turning tables. Under all disguise I see. I break 100 storms to leave you. I can't keep up with your turning table. So I won't let you do the justice of me. I can't give you turning table. I'll be my own savior, my own to feed. You the justice of me. I can't give you. Time to say goodbye to turning table.
That was track 3, Turning Tables. Wow, another wonderful song on the album. That chorus, the piano too, and her vocals. I mean, I don't need to tell you, everyone knows. Her vocals on this album, so impactful and emotional. Something I felt her vocals were lacking on her prior album, 19. That emotion, that heartbreaking emotion. But we're getting more than enough on this album when it comes to that heartbreaking emotion. And all that I have is on the floor. God only knows what we're fighting for. All that I say is you always say more. I can't keep up with your turning tables. Under your thumb, I can't breathe, so I won't let you close enough to hurt me. And then she goes on to say, I can't give you the heart you think you gave me. It's time to say goodbye to turning tables. There's also a sense of empowerment on this song as well. Next time, I'll be braver. I'll be my own savior, standing on my own 2 feet. I won't let you close enough to hurt me. So it looks like she learned a lot from this relationship and what happened. Next time, it won't happen again. Or if it does happen again, she'll be braver and she'll be her own savior. Lyrically, the song describes a domestic dispute in which its narrator assumes a defensive stance against a manipulative ex-lover. Now, Adele was dating a man 10 years her senior back in 2009 when she was only 20 years old. Adele wrote a song called Take It All during a difficult moment in her relationship. When she played the song for her boyfriend, the two got into a bitter argument that led to the end of their 18-month relationship. I also want to comment on the strings also, which were quite dramatic to listen to. What I also like about this track is Ryan Tedder from One Republic co-wrote the song alongside Adele, not just this track, but also Rumor Has It. But let's move on to track 4, Don't You Remember?
When will I see you again? You left with no goodbye, not a single word. I had no idea of the state we were in. But don't you remember the reason you left me once more?
That was track 4, Don't You Remember? I was getting emotional listening to that song, a little teary-eyed. That chorus and her vocals, that... Ugh! But don't you remember the reason you loved me before? Baby, please remember me once more. I kept my distance so you would be free, and hope that you find the missing piece to bring you back to me. Why don't you remember? Baby, please remember me once more. I mean... I also like how she brings up her flaws in the song as well. I know I have a fickle heart, and a bitterness, and a wandering eye, and a heaviness in my heart. But don't you remember the reason you loved me before? Baby, please remember me once more. You left with no goodbye. Not a single word was said. No final kiss to seal any sins. I had no idea of the state we were in. So did this guy just up and leave with no warning, no goodbye, not a single word, and she didn't know it was that bad enough for him to just walk out of her life like that, and she's pleading for him to come back, or when will I see you again? Baby, please remember me once more. I also like the use of the drums during the part where she says, the reason you loved me before. It's such a sweeping power ballad, this track, Don't You Remember? And it's, I mean, what could I possibly say? It's heartbreaking. It's more than that. It's devastating. The song, Don't You Remember, marks a shift in the album's theme from anger and defensiveness to reflection and heartbreak. What I also like about this track is how the production keeps building throughout the song. As her yearning increases for this person, so does the production. I'm also sorry if you hear drilling in the background. There's construction happening outside. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's quite annoying, so I do apologize. But anyway, let's move on to track 5, Set Fire to the Rain.
I let it fall, my heart, until you kiss my lips when you saved me. But there's a side to you that I never knew. But I set fire to the rain, 'cause I heard you screaming out your name. With you and me together, nothing gets better. You would always win, always win. Watch it pour as I touch your face. I set fire to the rain, 'cause I knew that was the last time. In the night when we're already over, I set fire to the rain, and like the rose into the flame. The last time.
That was track 5, Set Fire to the Rain, and we are 5 tracks into the album so far, and this is a very, very, very consistent album. It's very cohesive. All of the songs flow beautifully from one to the next. There isn't a single bad or mediocre or just okay song on this album so far. Each and every song so far has been just spectacular. Her vocals also are very consistent, in my opinion. Just that heartbreak, that I also think the lyrics on this album closely resonates with anyone who listens to them. I like the way that the lyrics are strung together on this album and the overall story she's telling of this relationship and its downfall and the emotions behind that, the bitterness, the resentment, but also the love and just everything that comes with love and breaking up with someone. And it's so complicated. It really is. I let it fall, my heart, and as it fell, you rose to claim it. I like that part. It was dark and I was over until you kissed my lips and you saved me. So this person swooped in and rescued her heart. But there's a side to them that she never knew about. All the things you'd say, they were never true. And the games you'd play, you would always win. But I set fire to the rain. I like that part. I set fire to the rain. That's such a dramatic visual. There must have been a music video for this song. I don't recall ever seeing it if there was a music video, but the whole time I was listening to this song, I had a visual of what the music video would look like. It was very dramatic. But I set fire to the rain, watched it pour as I touched your face. Well, it burned while I cried, because I heard screaming out your name. Honestly, I think lyrically, this might be one of my favorite tracks on the album so far. You and me together, nothing is better. Because there's a side to you that I never knew. So she was misled by this person. They weren't everything that she thought they were. And she set fire to the rain. And I threw us into the flames. When it fell, something died. Because I knew that that was the last time. Let it burn. I'm overwhelmed right now. Someone called the song Scorned Woman Balladry. It's a very dramatic song. All of these songs are quite dramatic in their own right. It's such a powerful lyric when she says, I set fire to the rain and I threw us into the flames. I have Game of Thrones in my head now. Burn them all. Daenerys Targaryen. This is like Daenerys Targaryen's theme song. Especially towards the end of the series. And we all know that didn't turn out very well. But I'm not gonna spoil it. But anyway, let's move on to track 6, He Won't Go.
Some say I'll be better without you. Can't bear this time. It drags on as I lose my mind. But I won't go. I can't do it on my own. I'm willing to take the risk. So petrified. I'm so scared to step into this fight. I heard his voice today. I didn't know a single word he said. But I won't go. I can't do it on my own. Bursting like the sings, no doubt. I won't go. I can't do it on my own. I'm willing to take the risk. Will he still remember me? When we spoke yesterday, he said to hold my breath and sit and wait. He won't go. He can't do it on his own. We're willing to take the risk.
And that was track 6, He Won't Go. And so first and foremost, I like the lyrics, and I don't know, okay, so this is probably my least favorite song on the album. I felt like it didn't really go anywhere. I do like the piano. I think I might have heard the harp at one point. I think it was the harp. But I couldn't really get into the track, unfortunately. Some say I'll be better without you, but they don't know you like I do. Or at least the sides I thought I do. So this is a great continuation of the prior track, Set Fire to the Rain, how initially when she met this person, she didn't know the whole story, and she was led in the wrong direction when it came to what and who she thought this person was. Wake me up when all is done. I won't rise until this battle's won. My dignity's become undone. I won't go. I can't do it on my own. If this ain't love, then what is? I'm willing to take the risk. I won't go. So she can't leave this person because she can't make it on her own. And if this current relationship isn't love, then what is? I heard his voice today. I didn't know a single word he said, not one resemblance to the man I met. Just a vague and broken boy instead, but I won't go. Will he still love me even when he's free? Or will he go back to the place where he will choose the poison over me? So this song is a great continuation of the story and the progression of the story in these songs, this complex and chaotic relationship. But for me anyway, it just wasn't memorable. It wasn't memorable enough for me to want to listen to it again and again. But anyway, let's move on to track 7, Take It All.
Didn't I give it up from all my tears? But go on and take it all. This crumbling fool, just take it all. Take it all to help you see. But go on and take it. Don't look back at this crumbling with my love. I will change if I must. Oh, if only you knew. Oh, you. Go on and take it. Don't look back at this crumbling. Take it all in my love.
And that was track 7, Take It All. And her vocals on this track, I quite enjoyed. I've been blown away by her vocals on this entire album so far, but there's something about her vocals on this track in particular that really resonate with me. Just very soulful. I also liked the gospel choir on this track as well. It's gonna be an empty road without me right here, but go on and take it. Take it all with you. Don't look back at this crumbling fool. Just take it all with my love. And then she also says, maybe I should leave to help you see. Nothing gets better than this. And this is everything we need. So is it over? Is this really it? You're giving up so easily. I thought you loved me more than this. Wow, and this was the song she shared with her then boyfriend that led to the breakup. From my understanding, I remember reading that this song was recorded before the breakup of Adele's relationship. The song was also compared to the work of Aretha Franklin. Now, Aretha Franklin did cover Rolling in the Deep. I also want to go back to the prior track for a second, He Won't Go, because there are songs on the album that aren't geared towards this failed relationship. For example, the prior track, He Won't Go, is a tribute to a friend who battled heroin addiction. So let's move on to track 8, I'll Be Waiting.
Hold me closer, one more time. Yes, I swam dirty waters, but you pushed me over every border and on every line. We were the greatest, me and you. I see my future in it, 'cause I'll be waiting for you. Everything different, I'll be better for you. I'll be waiting. Let me stay here for just one more night. I was a child then, but now I'm willing to learn. Now the sky is clear and it's blue, and I see my future in it. 'Cause I'll do everything different, I'll be better for you. Time against us, miles between us. I never let you speak. I'll be waiting for you when you're ready. Somebody different, I'll be better for you.
That was track 8, I'll Be Waiting, and Production-wise, this is one of the more cheerful songs on the album, I guess. I will say there does seem to be quite a lot of resentment towards this person and bitterness and anger, especially in the beginning of the album, but there's also a sense of waiting for this person, hence I'll Be Waiting track 8, but it seems like she still wants something from this relationship. She still wants to salvage it. The heavens cried, I know I left you speechless, but now the sky has cleared and it's blue, and I see my future in you. So maybe time has passed, and I guess it goes back to that old saying how time heals, I guess. So maybe she's had time to process what happened and she weathered the storm. The sky is blue now, and perhaps she's ready to rekindle this relationship. I'll put my hands up. I'll be somebody different. I'll be better to you. Let me stay here for just one more night. Build your walls around me and pull me to the light so I can tell you that I was wrong. She was wrong. So what happened to her saying that this guy wasn't who he really was in the beginning of the relationship? He was putting on a facade, I guess. And then she discovered the real him, and that wasn't someone that she particularly liked. In the song, Adele declares to wait patiently for her lover's inevitable return. I do like how this song is more optimistic. It's more fun, I guess, to listen to than a lot of the other songs, which are quite dramatic and dark and somber. I personally don't think this is a highlight on the album. My favorite part of the song was the overall production, but this isn't really a song on 21 that I would listen to all the time. I also don't think the lyrics on this track are as memorable as some of the other tracks I've listened to already. But anyway, let's move on to track 9, One and Only.
You've been on my mind every day, losing myself in time. Why it's taken me so long? You're the only one that I want. Every feeling, every word, I've imagined it all. You never tried to forgive your past. I dare you to let me be. Oh, promise I'm worth it. So come on and give me the chance until the end starts. You hang on every word I say. Will I ever love? Whichever road I choose, you'll go. You'll never know if you never try. Dare you to let me be yours. So come on and give me the chance until the end starts. I know it ain't easy. Nobody's perfect. It ain't easy. Nobody's perfect. It ain't easy. So dare you to let me be yours. So come on and give me the chance. Walk that mile and give me the chance until the end starts.
And that was track 9, One and Only. So, this is one of my least favorite. Just kidding. It's one of my favorite. Could you imagine if this was one of my least favorites? Oh, shut the camera off. No. Okay. One of my favorites. Dear God. I mean, what could I possibly say? You heard it for yourself. I mean, obviously I could say, oh my God, her vocals so soulful, the organ. just the general progression of the song and blah blah blah. But you know all that already. And I think this is one of those songs where I'm just gonna leave it at that. Speechless. I dare you to let me be your one and only. Promise I'm worthy to hold in your arms. So come on and give me the chance to prove I am the one who can walk that mile until the end starts. Have I been on your mind? You hang on every word I say. Lose yourself in time at the mention of my name. Will I ever know how it feels to hold you close? There's also a sense of forgiveness in this song as well. You'll never know if you never try to forgive your past and simply be mine. I mean, this has to be one of the best songs on the album. I can't be the only one who thinks that. One and Only is noted for its gospel-tinged vocals, organ, and choir. It was directed at a close friend for whom Adele shared romantic feelings. So this song isn't about the main breakup of the album, her ex. It's apparently about somebody else, just like the other track, He Won't Go. So yeah, speechless. Anyway, let's move on to track 10, Love Song.
Whenever I'm alone with you, you make me feel like I am home again. Whenever I'm alone with you, you make me feel like I am young again. I will always love you. I will always love you. Whenever I'm alone with you, you make me feel like I am free again. I will always love you. 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 'Cause I love you.
That was track 10, Love Song. This is another song that I quite enjoyed. Very atmospheric, and I was just kind of swaying my body from side to side, and I just like how it made me feel. Whenever I'm alone with you, you make me feel like I am home again. You make me feel like I am young again. Whenever I'm alone with you. However long I stay, I will always love you. It's obviously one of the more romantic songs on the album. There aren't very many of those on the album. It's a very loving song, and it is a cover of the song by The Cure. The song is dedicated to Adele's mother and friends, in whom she found solace when she grew homesick and lonely while recording in Malibu. I like the acoustic feel to the entire song, and I would listen to it again. I liked it. So let's move on to track 11, Someone Like You.
I heard that you're settled down. I heard that your dreams came true. I didn't give to you. Hate to turn up out of the blue uninvited. It isn't over. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. Don't forget me, I think. Sometimes it lasts and loves, but sometimes it hurts. You know how the time flies. Be surprised of our glory days. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I remember you said there's regrets and mistakes, their memories made. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. Don't forget me, I'll think. Sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts and stays.
that was track 11, Someone Like You. I really don't know what to say about this song. Vocals during the chorus are particularly devastating to hear, especially when she sings "Don't Forget Me, I Beg." I remember you said, sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead. I heard that you're settled down, that you found a girl and you're married now. I heard that your dreams came true. Guess she gave you things I didn't give to you. I'm getting emotional just reading the damn lyrics. And then she turned up out of the blue uninvited. But I couldn't stay, I couldn't fight it. I had hoped you'd see my face and that you'd be reminded that for me it isn't over. It isn't over for her, but it is for him. But then she walks away, hoping something could rekindle, but it doesn't. So she says, never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish you nothing but the best. Don't forget me. I remember you said sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead. I need to stop. Adele described the song as the summation of her attitude towards her ex-lover by the end of the album's production. The song's lyrics describe a protagonist's attempt at dealing with her heartbreak after she learns of her ex-lover's recent marriage and happy new life. I mean, I can't relate to that. I don't know what it's like to break up with someone and then months later or years later find out that they found someone new and they're married, they settled down, and all their dreams came true. And you look at that and you still love them. You still love that person, but you can't have them. So you walk away and say, never mind. I'll find someone else. I'll find someone new. I'll find someone like you. Honestly, one of the most devastating songs on the album, if not the most devastating song, because this is it. This is the end right here. Goodbye. Never mind. I'll find someone like you. I'm sorry, but that drilling, the construction that's happening outside my apartment is totally ruining the moment. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say on the song. I could keep talking about it, obviously. It's one of the biggest hits from the album, just as popular as Rolling in the Deep. It's still, to this day, one of her most popular songs, if not her most popular song. It also became Adele's second #1 song in the US, following Rolling in the Deep. When talking about the song, Adele said, "What I'm saying is, I'm going to be fine without you. This is me on my knees, really." She discussed further the inspiration of the song by saying, "I can imagine being about 40 and looking for him again, only to turn up and find that he's settled with a beautiful wife and beautiful kids, and he's completely happy, and I'm still on my own. The song's about that. I'm scared at the thought of that." I mean, imagine being a teenager or in your early to mid-20s and loving someone and you break up with them for whatever reason. And then 15 years later, 20 years later, you find out that they're married, they have kids, they have a great job, a beautiful wife. All their dreams came true. And yet there you are, single, unhappy, and your life is falling apart, your life went nowhere, and you just see the life you could have had with this person, but yet you don't have that life with them. And I could keep talking about this song. There's so much information about it, but I think I'm gonna stop there. We still have one more song to listen to, the bonus track, track 12, I Found a Boy. Well, she found a boy, at least. I think. Let's listen to it.
I thought I told you you're too good to be true. Every time he and he knows and like a fool disguised from greed. But I found a
that was track 12, I Found a Boy. And this is a nice song. It definitely continues the story of the album, how she was in this relationship, but she found a boy who she loves more. She cried, "Look how you want me now, I don't need you." So you thought that I crumbled to my knees at the first sight of you crawling back to me to whisper, "Will you leave your man?" Because you swear that this time you can stand by me. So this time he can finally stand by her. He can finally be there for her. But it's too late. She has found a boy she loves more. Look how you want me now, but I don't need you. I don't need you anymore. Where were you when I needed you? But now that I don't need you, you need me. I could probably do without this song. I like how the album ended with track 11, Someone Like You. I think that was a great send-off for the album. I think at this point, track 12 is a bit redundant now. But anyway, that was all 12 tracks of 21 by Adele. A vast improvement over her prior album, 19. First and foremost, the emotion in her voice. I mean, so much more than her prior album, 19. That was one thing I wanted from her first album, 19. The emotion, the heartbreak in her vocals, which I felt like wasn't there a lot of the time. It was kind of flat. Whereas here, I mean, she brought it. You could hear it every second. And that was obviously one of the highlights. Her soulful vocals, again and again, with the choir, the gospel choir. It was remarkable. Also, the songwriting. The songwriting on this album was great. I think she wrote every single one of these songs, with the exception of track 10, Love Song, which is a cover. The first half of the album is quite bitter, with a lot of resentment, anger and hostility and sass and this horrible breakup, her ex-boyfriend. So the first half is quite dark and menacing and dramatic too. A lot of dramatic moments on this album, lyrically and her vocals, production-wise. And then the second half, I find, is softer. A lot of reflection and time has passed and a bit more romance and perhaps wanting this person to come back, going back to this person. The album starts with a bang, with Rolling in the Deep, and ends with tears, with Someone Like You. A lot of varied degrees of emotion on this album, and the instruments, the jazz and the drums, and of course the guitar and the piano, the strings. I loved the gospel aspect of the album in some of these songs as well. And I will say there aren't very many clunkers on this album. In general, I would listen to each and every one of these songs again. There are a couple songs that I thought were a little lukewarm, that didn't really stand out. But overall, this is a very consistent and cohesive album, production-wise and vocally, lyrically, everything about it. It was put together very well. And I mean, I could keep gushing about it. I really could. I think I said everything I wanted to at this point. At this point, I'm just rambling. So, yeah, it's a fantastic album from Adele. So my question to you is, do you think this album is overrated? Given all the awards and the acclaim, one of the best-selling albums of all time, the best-selling album of the 21st century, the best-selling album of the 21st century, 21, right there. Do you think it's not warranted? Do you not understand the hype? Do you not understand why it reached the heights that it did? What also helps is how relatable it is. It is. It's a very, very, very relatable album. So I think I did enough talking in this video. I really have nothing else to say about it. Obviously, there are more things I could touch on, but I think I'm done. So in my next Adele video, we will move on to her third studio album called 25 from what year? Dear God, 2015. So look out for that video next time, and thanks for watching, guys. You can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Twitter, you can message me, you can say, hey, how are you? And I'll see you next time. Take care.